Yeah, hi guys. First, I would like to share a few things, something like, okay, firstly, welcome to this session, guys. This session entirely deals with automation testing using Python and Selenium. Okay, let me share my screen first. Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, myself, Dinesh, and I have been working in the software testing field over 10 years. And primarily, I will be focusing on this automation frameworks and also quality engineering. Okay, in today's demo, actually my goal is something like to give you a clear understanding of what the automation testing is and also why this become essential in the industry. Also how the Selenium with Python helps us achieve fast and reliable scalable testing. Okay, by the end of this session, you'll know that what automation testing involves and how a Selenium script looks and how it works. Like this entirely you learn in our entire complete training program. Okay, before we begin, let me ask something like how many you have some experience in the manual testing or basic programming or software professionals here?
I
Okay.
myself, I myself Arpit, and I am working as a quality
Mm.
assurance engineer from last 5 years.
Okay.
So in manual testing.
In manual testing. Okay, fine, fine.
Hi
Okay.
Dinesh, Umashankar here. I'm a test lead in one of the MNC. I'm into
Mhm.
purely manual testing and Salesforce testing.
Okay, 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 okay.
Hi, it's Palak here. So I have been working with the IT industry from last 10 years. So first I was in a clinical programming in like tool-based programming was there. Then I moved
Okay.
to testing. So there I have a functional mobile and little bit I've learned myself the automation.
Okay. Okay, got it. Any others, guys? Okay, that's fine. Okay, coming to the Selenium with Python, guys. Selenium supports only web-based applications. Okay, not a mobile application. Okay, not a desktop applications. But coming to the Selenium, it supports only web-based applications. So we'll be testing web testing. Okay, coming to the testing types. Okay, before we heading to this, okay, let me begin with some basics. Something like what is software testing? Okay, as we all know, something like software testing is a process of verifying an application, whatever it might be. It might be a GUI application or database application. Okay, something like APIs. Okay, API behavior also we'll be testing. Okay, and we need to check whether the software, I mean, whether the software meets the expectations or not. Okay, this is what exactly the testing we do. Okay, suppose if the application is very new means, okay, we'll not directly jump to the automation. Okay, because the application whatever is being built by the developers will wait until a stage where the application stabilizes. Then we start automating the repeated processes, right? I mean, to avoid the repeatancy, okay, we start automating it. For that, we need to choose a right tool. Okay, in market, if you see something like we have lot of tools, guys. Okay, something like not only Selenium. Selenium is one of the tool. Okay, Selenium we have UFT, Playwright. Okay, something like Cypress, and lot of tools. Okay, we have open source tools and something like UFT is something like you need to purchase it. Okay, this is not a free version. Okay. Few projects will go for open source. Okay, so that let's choose for Selenium. Okay, Selenium is an open source, and also this is multi-language support. Not only a Python, not only a Java. Okay, it has many uh, languages support, guys. Okay, Python, Java, and C, Ruby. Okay, something like a lot of languages it can be written. Okay, but out of all these languages, suppose if any manual tester or any new one I mean, beginner to this uh, programming language means better you choose Python, okay, because of its simpler syntax or something like this, it could be more easier for us. There is no audio sound. Is it for everyone, guys?
No, Dinesh, I think he's having some issues.
Okay,
We're able
okay.
to hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, then fine, yeah. Uh, yeah, Moina, can you rejoin it? Okay, fine. Yeah, guys. This is what exactly, okay? And also, right, traditionally, I mean, for the manual testing is something like test leads or test managers. They will just analyze the requirements and they'll come up with the test packs within a single test pack. I mean, they might have n number of test cases. For each test case, again, we might have number of test steps. Okay, each and every test step we need to validate. I mean, we need to perform it manually and validate the results manually. Okay, store the findings in the sense something like uh, logs. Okay, we need to save the logs manually. Okay, to avoid all these manual things, okay, we can dive into this automation testing. Okay, we have a lot of testing types first. I mean, okay, first manual, right? Okay, manual and automation. Okay, compared to these two testing types itself, we know that automation is far better, and also there is a lot of scope. Okay, there is a lot of scope in future or something like this. But manual testing is also as important as automation, because first we need to understand the software requirements. Okay, at start itself, you shouldn't. I mean, will be not able to automate everything at start itself. Okay, so that we'll just, as I discussed previously itself, until the application stabilizes, we'll not move to the automation for sure. Okay, later on we'll choose this automation. That's fine. Yeah. Coming to this automation testing, okay, using a specialized tools and scripts which execute the test cases automatically. Okay, this allows the testers to be repeated quickly. Suppose if there is a online application, guys, we have a lot of applications. Suppose let's have a Facebook application first. Okay, something like Facebook. Okay, it has a login applications. Okay, I mean, if you break into the components, first, if you want to dive into the Facebook world, first you need to have an account or something like this. If you have already an account, means just you need to uh, give the valid credentials and then you need to log in. Okay, this is a basic step first. First, suppose if there is a small change within this login application or login component, okay, even if suppose this is entirely GUI, right? If there is a difference, suppose how to identify this, right? Just I am diving into the developer options. Okay, if you see, this is something like a field. Okay, something like a web element. This is one more web element password. Login is one more web element. This web element is something like a text field. This is a text field only, but it is a password. This is a clickable element. Something like you can consider like a submit button or something like this. In near future, if anything has been changed in this application, means okay, this could be a basic and step one for all the things, for all the other things, because whatever you want to validate within the Facebook application, login is the first step, right? So if any new change has been done or sorry, yeah, if any new change has been done to this Facebook login application, you need to check repeatedly, guys. And also here itself, you might have a lot of test scenarios to be identified. Okay, with valid credentials, invalid credentials, password. Actually, it should have at least 8-character length. Okay, instead of that, you might have a negative testing, something like 123 will give invalid. Okay, so something like this in the login application itself, you might have n number of test cases, right? Okay, to do all this stuff again and again and again, this could be more tough to the testers, manual testers, or whatever the testers it might be. Okay, at that case, this automation testing comes into the picture. Okay, it has a lot of benefits first. Something like this saves a lot of testing time and human efforts. And also it enables quick regression testing. Suppose if the application is already built and some new changes keep on adding on to that, means we need to check whether the previous behavior of the software, it shouldn't break. Okay, that's what something like regression testing. These all things we can clearly discuss into the, I mean, next topics, yes, I mean next sessions. Okay, that's fine. And also this kind of automation testing, suppose if we achieve the automation testing, means this reduces human errors. Whatever the automation project you build, you can easily integrate with the CI/CD tools. I mean, for continuous testing. Suppose there is a new feature has been added, or not a new feature, okay? Because if a new feature has been added to the application, means will not automate immediately, right? Suppose if there is an existing component has been modified, means okay, modified, and already the regressions, I mean, already the automation has been developed for that, means just within a trigger you can run all your test cases within the regression suite. Okay, that kind of things also we can clearly discuss. That's fine. Now, out of all these tools, okay, we will be choosing this Selenium with Python. Okay, Python, why we have chosen is something like due to its simpler syntax we have chosen. Okay, and also this is something like a powerful combination, guys. Python and Selenium, not only Python and Selenium. If you're comfortable with Java, also that could be a major thing. Okay, but nowadays language is not even a prior one. If you stick to one language, okay, it will be easier to learn the other language also. Because first we need to have something like uh, you need to concentrate on the logic building. Okay, once it's done, it will be very easier for everything. That's fine. Coming to the Selenium with Python, guys, okay, this is a powerful combination for modern automation testing. Okay, that's fine. And also coming to the Selenium architecture or core components, under Selenium itself, we have a lot of things, guys. Okay, initially Selenium was developed with something like RC, remote control. This is not even present in the market right now. To do some stuff also on this RC, this is not even present. Okay, upon to this, we have an IDE. Okay, this is something like record and playback things. Okay, record and playback. This doesn't supports uh, a higher interaction. Suppose if you see something like mouse movements, okay, few drop downs will be hidden over an element until you hover to a particular element, then only the hidden drop down will gets visible, right? Okay, such things cannot be achieved in this Selenium IDE. Okay, I mean it has its own drawbacks. Okay, and also this IDE, Selenium IDE is not supporting by all the browsers because everyone is moving to the Selenium WebDriver, which is something like just we need to code it. Okay, I will show you. But few of the browser applications, I think Microsoft Edge or Firefox is supporting this IDE. Okay, we can clearly discuss on this IDE also, but this is not a favorite topic or something like this. This is not an important, but just it could be better. Everyone knows about the Selenium IDE. Okay, the third one is something like Selenium WebDriver. Okay, this is where we will be concentrating entirely. Okay, Selenium WebDriver is nothing but this is a main automation framework. We used to write the scripts, whatever the language. But in this session, we'll be learning the Selenium with Python. Okay, and also we have one more component like Selenium Grid. Okay, this actually runs on Java environment. Okay, just we need to have a Java application within the system. That's it. Using the Selenium Grid. Okay, suppose if an automation project, okay, automation project might have many things, right? Not only a regression suite. Okay, not only a regression suite, might have a sanity suite, right? Smoke suite, something like performance testing. To do some performance testing, we'll keep on invoking APIs recurrently, right? Okay, some kind of things. To check whether our load balancers and everything were working or not. Okay, something like this. For everything, we'll have a suite, right? Okay, suppose if the regression itself is having at least 5,000 cases means, okay, if we have a monthly release, if we have something like a monthly release or bi-weekly release means, it could be more tougher to complete this regression suite. I mean, to execute this entire regression suite within a stipulated time. So that this Selenium grid helps us to have something like a parallel testing. 5,000 test cases, if we run one by one means, okay, if a single test case might take at least 3 to 5 minutes, something like this, if you consider also 5,003, something like 15,000 minutes, guys. Okay, this is where, I mean, automation testing itself, it saves time. But when the regression suite keeps on growing, and if you start executing one by one, okay, then again there is a time constraint for us. Okay, to avoid this time constraint, we can achieve something like parallel execution using this Selenium grid. Just you can create a number of threads or number of CPUs. If you have something like 10 CPUs within a machine means, okay, you'll start entire uh, 10 cases parallelly. Okay, that means 5,000 test cases, 10 parallel threads or something like this. Okay, 10 parallel threads or CPUs, whatever it might be. Okay, each test case again takes 3 minutes only. But if you see, but all 10 have been started at the same time, right? So 15,000. Okay, 15,000 divided by 10 again. Something like within 1500 minutes you can finish it. Okay, I mean, suppose within not okay, this is entirely a single mission, guys. Within a single mission, because not only automation test elements, we can have multiple missions. We can run this entire regression suite with multiple missions. So that again, this 1500 minutes we have, right? If you are trying to run in at least 3 machines means, okay, each machine takes close to 500 minutes. That's it. Okay, I mean, the based on the entire setup or framework we choose, it could be more useful and easier for us. Okay, this is something like, okay, okay, let's do a very minimal thing, guys. Okay, I have something like an empty directory. Let me, I mean, before writing some Selenium code also, first we should be aware of Python. Okay, but we haven't discussed the entire Python. Okay, just for your purpose, just I will write a small snippet. Okay, code snippet. Let me create a Python file. Okay, just a sample file, guys. Sample file. Let's do something. Okay, just let's try to, as if you see here itself, we have Facebook application, right? Let's do something like, let's feed these two fields and click on the login button. We don't have a valid credentials, but just I would like to give invalid credential login. The manual thing is nothing but what we need to do is we need to choose a browser. We need to open the browser, navigate to this URL. This could be a third step. Feed the inputs. Okay, feed the inputs could be the fourth step. Then click on the login. You need to verify whether the login was successful or not. Okay, these are the basic steps. Okay, right? First, actually, okay, I mean, you might have you might get more doubts, guys, because I haven't discussed entirely on the Python and the Selenium and Selenium WebDriver and everything. But just, okay, how we usually code or something like this, just I will show you. Okay, first we need to install, I mean, not an installation. First installation in the sense, first you need to install Python application, whatever the code editor I'm using. This is one more thing. Okay, it's not only Python. Okay, if you're comfortable with the Visual Studio Code, that also you can use. Okay, these two could be the main components for you. Any doubts, guys?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. Yeah. Because Selenium is something like a third-party application, guys. Okay, something like you can consider it as a framework. First, we need to install that Selenium library. Okay, you need to install it, right? So I would like to install something like, okay, if you see, I need to choose an interpreter first. My Python application resides at this location. Okay, so that's fine. Now, using that, it will just suggest me few things. Okay, I would like to install, I mean, import the WebDriver. Okay, from Selenium, I would like to import the WebDriver. Now using this WebDriver, what I can do? Using this WebDriver, I can connect to whatever the browser application I want, I can connect. Okay, here if you see, I am having Firefox, Chrome, whatever it might be. I would like to connect to the Chrome application. That's it. Okay, this gives you a driver object. Okay, this gives you a driver object. So I'm storing, it will return something. No? It will return something. So I'm storing it in driver object. Okay, this is just a basic step, guys. This is a basic step. I would like to pause the script. To pause the script, we have one more module, something like time module. Okay, just I would like to import. Import is something like it's just a module. So I would like to import the time module. Now I would like to pause the script for 5 seconds so that just you can. Yeah, okay, fine. Now if you see something like just I would like to execute it, guys. Just find it. Okay, what we are doing something like just at 5th step we are connecting to the Chrome. That's it. The Chrome browser should be open. Yeah, that's it. Within a single command. Okay, within a single command, if you clearly observe, we have opened the Chrome. That's it. But that drive, I mean, that Chrome application was not even maximized. If you would like to maximize it, you can maximize. Using this driver object itself, you can maximize. There is a method named maximize window. You can maximize it. Okay, now just clearly observe the change. Now if you see it has been maximized. Okay, like this we can do few things. Okay, like this we can do few steps also. That's fine. Okay, if you would like to, I mean, if interested, we can go through this itself, guys. I'll just we can go through the course structure first. Okay, that's fine. We have plenty of time. That's fine. Okay, let's just fill these fields. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. Please also share the course content. Yeah, I'll be sharing that course contents and what the topics will be covered and everything. Okay, that will be shared in the WhatsApp community itself within the PDF format, guys. Okay, you can go through that entire thing, but just I'll show you what are the things will be discussed. Okay, something like, yeah, the course content is something like, okay, whatever I remember I will share you. Okay, first Python fundamentals, guys, I mean essentials. Okay, you will be learning Python essentials, something like from basics. Okay, from basics to intermediate you will be learning. I mean something like loops, conditional statements. Okay, conditional statements, and what else we have? Try exceptions. That means something like exception handling. Okay, basics of oops, whatever the oops concepts you requires, that oops concepts will be covered here itself. Okay, lot of things. Not only this, okay, lot of things you can learn on this Python. Once we are comfortable with Python, then we will be starting with the Selenium. Okay, coming to the Selenium WebDriver itself. Okay, Selenium, under Selenium itself you will be learning all these components. Okay, first RC. RC is something like it's not even in the market. Okay, it's not even live. Okay, so we can just park it off. That's fine. You'll be learning this IDE later. WebDriver, this WebDriver you need to start coding. I mean, just okay, using, if you see something like, okay, from the Selenium itself you have imported the WebDriver. Using the WebDriver you are doing some stuff. Okay, this is what, okay, the Selenium, anti-Selenium, I mean from basics to advanced it will be covered. Okay, advanced GUI actions or something like, everything will be covered in this Selenium itself. How many classes will be there for Python? First 10 to 12 sessions will be Python. Okay, and also everything will be an interactive session, guys. Even if you have any small doubt also, it will be covered. Yeah, API testing also. Okay, API and database validation also will be covered. Okay, API testing will be covered for sure. Okay, because in the market, current market, we have, I mean, we have both SOAP APIs, right? as well as REST APIs. Okay, I'll be tuning both these things. Okay, that's fine. The Postman is something like within the Postman tool, you will not be doing stuff. Okay, before automating, I mean automation in the sense, suppose in Postman, what you do, actually you load the mediator URL, and then if it's something like what are the REST APIs methods we have, guys? HTTP methods, get, post, or something like this. Okay, few HTTP methods requires request, right? Okay, you'll update the request from scratch using the Python itself. Okay, you'll invoke whatever the API testing you're doing using the Postman, just you'll replicate within the Python using a request module. Okay, request module. I mean, just you can send your request to the HTTP. I mean, using the HTTP protocol. However, you are invoking the APIs using Postman. The same way, you'll automate the things within. I mean, using this request module. Okay. I mean, REST APIs is nothing but just it accepts JSON request format, right? Okay. Handling the JSON files also. Okay, this is the most crucial topic. Okay, how to handle the JSON file, how to create it, how to update it, okay, how to delete the key value pair, okay, something like stuff. How to validate the response. Okay, everything comes under handling JSON. Okay, but SOAP APIs is something like it is XML based. Okay, how to handle the XML files also you can learn it. Okay, coming to the API testing. Coming to the database testing is something like just suppose if you're having if you are posting something a new record. Okay, you have invoked any new API. New API is something like you're creating a new user using create user API call. Okay, that actually what it does, it should create a new record within the table, within a single, I mean, within one of the table in any of the schema. Okay, to do that, what you need to do something like as soon as you invoke this request, I mean, as soon as you invoke this create user API, what kind of validation you need to do? Manually means you will connect to the schema, you'll open the table, you will check using something like basic select query, you will write whether the new user has been, okay, which API will be learning. For sure, you will be learning REST APIs here, guys. Okay, SOAP API is something like how to handle this XML related, I mean, file handling. Okay, we have a lot of files, right? Text files, JSON files, XML files. Okay, XML files, I mean, all kinds of file handling. Not only these, we have Excel files, CSV files. All such file handling concepts we will be learning for sure. Before heading to this Selenium topic itself, you can learn all these topics. Okay, database testing is something like you will connect to the schema, you will check whether the record is present or not. If you want, you can delete it, you can update it, whatever. I mean, basic CRUD operations. How you do by opening a SQL developer or something like I mean, UI application, whatever you want, you can do. I mean, this also can be covered. Okay, these three topics, I mean, Selenium is something like GUI testing, guys. Okay, this comes under GUI testing, right? And also this supports only web applications. For sure, you need to remember that this supports only web application. Okay, next API testing also will be covered. Database testing also will be covered. Once we learn all these basics to advance, then you can learn something like frameworks. Okay, on top of Python. Could someone mute you, guys? Yeah, okay, fine. Now, if you see something like frameworks, will it be only instructive classes or will it be giving daily assignments? Daily assignments will be giving, guys. If not daily, at least twice a day you will get. Okay. I mean, at least for 2 days you will be getting hands-on. Okay. We can review that. If you have any doubts, we can discuss within the session. Because I mean, out of 60 minute session, okay, first 5 minutes will be purely recap. Okay, last 10 minutes will be something like if you have any doubts, we can clear them. Okay. And next, coming to real projects. Yeah, for sure. Okay, we have a lot of real-time applications itself. Not only Facebook, guys. Not only Facebook. Suppose if you see something like e-commerce applications, that is very modernized applications. Okay, every element will be a challenging one. Okay, if we work on something like a challenging projects, challenging real projects is something like okay, something like Amazon e-commerce we have, right? Okay, if you see here itself, you can find we have a lot of elements, web elements here itself. Okay, now if you see when I hover, okay, just mouse over on this element, then only the invisible thing has been visible. Okay, now you need to click on any particular link or something like this. Okay, now if you see something like, if you see this is something like a drop down. Again, you have two cards, fresh and fresh meat. These two are different cards. Cards are something like again links only. Okay, you need to do the things. Okay, this is we can choose at least one or two applications, real-time applications, and we can do some real-time project also. That will be surely covered. Okay, once we do some real-time project, then only whatever the learnings, Selenium learnings and Python learnings, we need to apply to this, right? Okay, the challenging, whatever the challenges we are getting to face, we can resolve them so that it will be more easier for us. Okay, any doubts, guys?
Yeah.
Any doubts?
Yeah. Hi. I just joined. I did join some time back, but I think I don't know your name.
Yeah,
Um.
myself, Dinesh. Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Dinesh. So I have quick questions. You did write what topics will be covered,
Mhm.
but do you also have a duration, rough duration, like how much time will you spend on those topics, like fundamentals, how much time, Selenium,
Yeah,
how much
okay.
time, roughly,
Python's,
so that we get,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, sure, sure. Python Essentials is something like it will be 10 to 15 sessions, guys. Okay, 10 to 15 sessions. Okay, this includes API testing too. Okay, this is not a major concept also. Okay, we can cover this API testing also within this Python Essentials. Next, coming to the GUI, 10 more days. That's it. Okay, Selenium. 10 to 12 sessions we can wind up with.
Okay.
Okay, database 1 or 2 days. Okay, just
Okay.
I'm giving something like extra time only. We have a lot of plenty of sessions remaining. Okay, those sessions can be utilized completely for real-time projects. Okay, and few more things we have. Just the basics of Git. GitHub is something like okay, online repository. Okay, remote repositories. Okay, something like CI/CD tool. Okay, we have a lot of CI/CD tools, but we have a freeware, right? Something like Jenkins. Okay, we'll be learning. We'll be like shooting only on basics of these things. Okay, that also we can cover in 2 sessions. Okay,
Okay.
I'll give you a complete roadmap.
Okay. So
Okay.
I have one requirement in my project.
Mm,
So I have to mount
mm.
some file locations on Linux, so that is easy. But on a remote Windows machine, I have to map the drive.
Could you
Um,
come again? Could you come
so
again?
I have a UI test, Selenium tests,
Mm-hmm.
where I do a configuration on the UI, and in the back end, I have to do some mount. So I'll for Linux machines, I does mounting using the command.
Okay.
But on Windows, I still have to map the drive, right? So just like mount, I have to map the drive, like right clicking on the computers and then clicking on map and then entering the details in those. So, I mean, do we
Okay.
cover that in this session? Somewhere.
No,
Like
actually
remotely logging in into the Windows machine and then mapping the drive to.
that couldn't be covered, okay? But if you come up with the exact use case, okay, that mount and everything, I'm able to get onto that. But because if you, I mean, just you orally discussing, right?
No, no,
Okay,
this is the
yeah,
requirement. Instead of
okay.
mounting,
Mm-hmm.
on mounting is like on Linux, we execute a command.
Okay,
Whereas in Windows, we have to do manually right click on the drive and then select the option map the drive. And on the map the drive, you get a window box and we have then input fields. So we enter
okay,
those input fields and then
okay.
click OK. So that will map the. So, but can we also put a remote session to the Windows machine and then do all these UI operations?
Okay. That I need to check with the team. Okay. I'll check on this part and get back.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
Murli.
Maybe
Yeah.
we'll have to install some
Yeah, I
extra
think,
tools
yeah, it
or.
requires additional installations, I guess. Mm,
Yeah, just
uh,
checking. I mean, if you know, can
mm,
you put it in the, I mean,
yeah,
in our chat?
yeah, sure, got it. CI/CD pipelines and Jenkins, Git. Yeah. Coming to these three applications, guys. Okay,
Mm.
Git, GitHub. I mean Jenkins or CI/CD. Okay, CI/CD is something like a Jenkins only, guys. Not only Jenkins. We have something like Azure DevOps. Okay, under this Azure DevOps itself, we have pipelines, concepts, everything. Okay, I mean those Azure DevOps and everything will not be covered, but Jenkins it will be covered. Okay, Jenkins, how to I mean the installation part and how to get rid of this all the things. Okay, how to schedule your daily jobs. Okay, not only daily jobs, hourly jobs also you might have. Okay, for every single hour you need to check how the database load keeps on growing at our lower test environments. Okay, because our regression suite we usually run in our low, I mean, test environments, not in production environments, right? If you want, we can run with the production data, we can run the same test suite, we can run by just modifying the test data. Okay, you can run in whatever the environment you want. Okay, that's fine. Okay, this could be discussed, guys. Palak. Okay. Okay, any more doubts, guys? Any more doubts?
Yeah, Dinesh, like the one who
Hmm.
is not having any coding skills,
Hmm.
is this 10 to 12 classes are sufficient?
Yeah, surely it will be sufficient. Okay,
Okay.
but in this 10 to 12 sessions, I mean 15 sessions, more probably 15 sessions will be surely will be given, guys. Okay, because I mean including this API testing. But those 15 sessions in the sense, suppose it might be 3 weeks, consider like 3 weeks. If you have, I mean, you also at your end also you need to put some efforts, okay, to understand this. I mean, you need to have some kind of hands-on, right? What's variable is and how to loop some things, how to have a conditional basis. Okay, just basics will be sure. Okay, basics sure will be easier for you, but cracking the logic building, okay, that logic building alone could be, I mean, you can I mean, you can get the logic also. Just you need to tell the computer in this Python language how to deal with that. Okay, that alone you need to spend some time. That's it.
Okay, total around 15 plus 10, 25, 30 sessions will be there, Dinesh?
No, actually, it's of 40 sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Actually, I told you, right, real-time projects we need to work on. And
Okay.
also we have something like GitHub, Jenkins.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. These
So
things. Okay.
it would be Monday to Friday, and Saturday and Sunday will be the off, right?
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday will be off.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And
Yeah.
what about fixtures and decorators, which are like main on the this PyTest
I
frameworks?
mean, PyTest, yeah, that could be discussed. That also. I told you, right, last 10 days we have PyTest, Git, okay, GitHub. Okay, and next what we have, something like Jenkins part.
And what about reports?
PyTest. Within the PyTest itself, we have PyTest HTML reports. Okay.
Okay.
On top of this, if you want LU reports, I mean, just I will share you the documentation. If you really interested, means I will share you. Okay. But on the top of PyTest itself, You told, right, something like assertions will have, soft assertions, hard assertions, okay, some kind of topics on the decorators. Decorators in the sense, within the Python you will be covering. Okay, here you will have something like a fixture. Fixture is also similar to decorator only, guys. Okay, PyTest fixtures. Okay, lot of things. Something like setup and teardown. Okay, this setup teardown will be achieved using this PyTest fixtures only. Okay, this could be a one-time setup for the entire test suite or entire test file, something like this. Okay, we will be discussing clearly on this. Okay, under this PyTest itself, we have a lot of concepts. Okay, okay, we have a lot of messages to be dealt. What about the fixture decorators? Okay, that's fine. I have discussed. Which all Python frameworks will be discussed. Okay, within the Python, Selenium is one of the framework. Okay, PyTest, on top of that, PyTest, using PyTest, we'll be dealing with this. And next, what else we have? Data-driven framework. Okay, because test data will be stored within the data files, right? Whatever the data file might be. That means that is something like a data-driven framework. Okay, that will be discussing. Okay, this will be discussing. I didn't get about Postman. Are you gonna cover it or not? This will be covered because before dealing with, suppose if you want to automate something else also, you need to verify or check manually. Okay, before automating some API, you need to do some manual stuff, right? To do that manually, if you want to uh, check API is working or not manually, you need one of the tool, something like Postman. That will be covered. Okay. From when are the main classes? From 9th November? That is not finalized, guys. Main classes, I think from tomorrow or day after tomorrow will be start. Okay. Database will be covering, guys. Database in the sense what you are expecting to, what you are expecting. Okay.
Dinesh, one more question. Like,
Yes.
see, Python Selenium, how is the market? Like nowadays, we are able to see so many AI tools. So, which is
Hmm.
having zero code, no code. With that, some automation tools are available. So, in that
Yes.
case, so how Python Selenium will be helpful, and how the market is for?
Yeah, actually, this could be a first step. Okay. Coming to the automation perspective itself, this is the first step. On top of this, we have many things to be learned, guys. Okay. We have a trending tool, something like a playwright. Okay. This is not not a uh something like, okay, not a tough one. Okay. Beside this, we have BDD. BDD is something like behavior cucumber. You can something like within the Java, Selenium with Java, this is something like cucumber. Okay, within this Python with Selenium is something like a behave, using this behave, and also robot framework we have. Okay, to learn all these testing frameworks. Okay, these are all the testing frameworks only. To learn this also, first step could be something like Selenium with Python. Okay, on top of Selenium only, this playwright, behave, robot framework has been built.
Okay, Dinesh, got you. Thank
Okay,
you.
and also market is also not that worse. Okay, that's good. But if you, I mean, if you're completely technical, you should be a technically savvy. Okay, then it's not a big deal, guys. Okay, just until the right opportunity gets, that could be slight tougher. Okay, but once if you get the opportunity and if you are ready means, it will. You will be capable of that. That's it.
Okay, Dinesh, thank you.
So
Okay.
Python automation has market like for the product based companies also hiring for Selenium Python.
Yeah, yes, but you couldn't find a lot of openings in the product based, because product based itself, suppose if there is a project means, Okay, the development team itself, they will write some kind of unit tests. Okay, and whatever the things they want, just using the developers itself, itself, they usually do some stuff. That's it. Okay, but as far as I know, there could be more openings also within the product based. Okay, because if you come across this LinkedIn community or other communities, if you see, okay, there could be a lot of openings. But coming to this normal MNCs or something like not only product based, okay, other things we have, right? There are more openings. Okay. Mm, any other things, guys?
You were showing some PPT, right? Which you have prepared, like what exactly in that?
This is something like just introduction, guys. Okay, if you say something like Selenium with Python training, okay, just what is something like difference between manual and automation? What are the benefits? Benefits is something like efficiency can be okay, and also we can reduce human errors, types of testing. Okay, something like unit testing, integration, we have functional, regression, end to end is something like if all the components or all the systems were, uh, I mean, integrated means then you can start this end to end testing. Okay, end to end testing deals with suppose if an application, okay, entire application might have GUI components, API components, okay, database components, okay, these three components within a single script. Okay, you need to have something like this and end to end testing. That is something like. Okay, Python, why Python for Selenium? Within the Python, how to set up it. Okay, how to set up the Selenium. Okay, before setting this, I mean, before setting this Selenium itself, we need a Python application, right? Okay, that how to install it. What are the locators? Okay, locators or something like this is a different concept, guys. If you would like to, I mean, so just to identify anything, there could be a name. Suppose if you want to identify me as a person means I have my own name like Dinesh. Okay. In the same way, for every GUI element, web element, there could be a unique name. You need to identify that using developer options. If you see, this is something like input tag. Tag name is an input. Okay. For this input tag itself, we have, if you see, we have a lot of attributes. Type is an attribute, class is an attribute, name is an attribute, ID is also an attribute. Data hyphen test ID is one more attribute. For each and every attribute, we have value again. Attribute value. Type is having a text. Class is having something like this. If you want to identify this, how can you identify? ID is an email. Okay, just okay. Now, if you see something like simply, let's try it. Okay, as soon as we maximize this window, driver dot, okay, find element. This is expecting two parameters. If you see, it's highlighting. Okay, two arguments to be passed by dot id comma by. If you see something like we haven't imported, guys. Okay, now if you see, let me import by this, just a quick fix. If you see now at third line we are importing this, that's fine. This is first parameter. And next, what was the ID, guys? Exact ID. Because not only this, suppose for this element, for this web element, if ID was not present means you shouldn't use this ID. Instead of ID you can have your own XPath, CSS selector, or whatever it might be. But in this case we have ID. Okay, so it is a little easier for us. Okay, oh sorry, this is ID, no? Within the strings, you need to pass that value. Okay, email, right? Just I have copied value of this ID as a email, and I have passed a second parameter. This is something like expecting the keys from keyboard. So what was the method you need to use? Dot. It is suggesting few methods. You need to identify your required method, something like send the keys. Okay, now I would like to send some random text, something like Isha 123. That's it. Okay, let's try to execute now. Okay, I'm trying to execute this script. Check whether that is, oh, what happened? some error. Oh, guys, before this itself, we haven't navigated to the Facebook first, right? Okay, we haven't navigated to the website. Before navigating to the website itself, we are doing this. Okay, driver dot using get method, you need to navigate to that. Okay, once you navigate to this website, then only you can interact with this email web element. Now let me execute. That's it. Isha 123. Okay, I mean, this is very basic. Okay, we have a lot of components. Select drop downs. Okay, drag and drop elements, sliders. Okay, we have a lot of things. Everything can be discussed in detail once the Selenium session starts. Okay, before to that, you need to gain some programming concepts, right, within the Python. Okay. This could be the
And different kind of weights should also be
weights. Yes, implicit weights. We have explicit. I mean, instead of using this static weights in the sense something like sleeps. You shouldn't pause the scripts. Because if you want to debug your code, if the code is not completely developed, means at that time you can use it, guys. Something like time.sleep. But once your code is finalized and everything means at that time you need to use something like implicit weight, dynamic weights. These are dynamic weights, guys. Implicit we have, explicit, and one more thing, something like fluent weight. Okay. These are, I mean, I told you, right? Okay, entire Selenium concepts. Okay, within this itself, you can cover all these things. Okay, okay. Any more doubts, guys? Okay, if there's nothing else, means we can wind up. If you have any small doubt, also we can discuss this. Let me stop sharing. Yeah, any doubts, guys? Okay. Yeah, thanks for your time, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
We'll be sharing this entire okay course structure. Okay, you can go through the course structure. If anything got missed and if you would like to cover anything else also, okay, if you would like to recommend also, just we'll take it to the consideration. If and all the time permits, I mean the sessions and everything permits, okay, we'll take it to the consideration and so that we can closely work on this. Okay, and also not only getting into the sessions, guys. Okay, you need to put your efforts into the hands-on. If someone is new to the programming world means that they should spend few more time. Okay, then only it could be more easier. Okay, I mean that's my personal suggestion. Okay, yeah, that's fine, guys. If there's nothing else means we can wind up. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dinesh.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Dinesh.